The alien council chamber buzzed with the low hum of voices. Delegates from a dozen species debated the nature of humanity, dismissing them as nothing more than an overly ambitious species with delusions of grandeur. In the corner of the room, a figure sat silently, his worn armor bearing the scars of countless battles. The Xytherian war veteran, known only as Kaelor, listened with a grim expression, his mandibles clicking in irritation. "I fought the humans," he began, his deep, gravelly voice cutting through the noise. The room fell silent. Kaelor's reputation as a survivor of the first human conflict was legendary, but few believed his stories. They are not what you think they are. Their true nature lies hidden beneath their fragile appearance. A delegate from the Prolaxians snorted. "Humans? Those primitive bipeds? They've barely scratched the surface of advanced technology." Kaelor leaned forward, his eyes narrowing. "And yet, they brought the Xarkan Imperium to its knees. You call them primitive, but you fail to see their true strength. Humans adapt. They innovate. They don't fight like us. They don't think like us." He paused, letting the weight of his words sink in. The Xarkans believed as you do, that their superior fleet and firepower would crush humanity. What they didn't anticipate was the human capacity for chaos. They used tactics we couldn't comprehend, turned our strengths against us. They sabotaged supply lines, hacked systems, and fought with a ferocity that defied logic. Another delegate, a tall, reptilian Xytherian, hissed in skepticism. "Your account reeks of exaggeration. If humans were so dangerous, why have they remained isolated for so long?" Kaelor's mandibles twitched. "Because they know patience. They learn from us, from every species they've encountered. Humans observe, they absorb, and when the time comes, they strike with precision. They don't wage wars, they end them." The council erupted into murmurs, many dismissing his claims outright. Kaelor slammed a clawed hand onto the table, silencing them once more. "I stood on the front lines. I watched as human soldiers, outnumbered and outgunned, dismantled an armada. They fought in ways we couldn't predict. Traps, diversions, even weaponizing their own weaknesses. When we thought we'd cornered them, they'd already devised 10 ways to escape. And yet here you are," a smug voice interrupted, belonging to a sleek, feline-like Chrysan delegate. "If they were so unstoppable, why are you still alive?" Kaelor's eyes darkened. "Because they allowed me to live. To send a message." His voice grew softer, almost a whisper, but the gravity of his words carried through the room. "They don't see us as equals. To them, we're puzzles to solve, obstacles to overcome. You think they've been quiet because they're weak? No. They're preparing." The council's skepticism persisted, but Kaelor saw the flicker of doubt in a few eyes. Rising to his feet, he cast a final glance around the chamber. "Underestimate humans at your peril. I only hope you're ready when they prove me right." With that, he left the chamber, his words hanging in the tense silence. The remnants of the Union fleet tried to regroup, but the humans gave them no respite. Without warning, small human strike ships began darting in and out of their formations, exploiting weaknesses in the disarrayed fleet. These ships, fast and agile, targeted critical systems with precision, disabling engines and weapons before retreating into the shadows. It wasn't about destruction, it was control, and the Union fleet realized too late they were no longer the hunters but the prey. Admiral Xaxer barked orders, his once commanding tone now tinged with desperation. "Re-establish comms. Consolidate our forces." Yet every command he issued was met with failure. Human cyber attacks had rendered their networks unreliable. Ships that attempted to coordinate found their messages intercepted or scrambled. To make matters worse, the humans began broadcasting cryptic messages in the Union's various languages. "Why did you come here?" one message asked in flawless Xytherian. Was it arrogance? Or desperation? The voices weren't mechanical or taunting but calm and measured, as though humanity was dissecting them piece by piece. The psychological toll became evident. Crews aboard Union ships started panicking, their morale eroding with every unanswered question. Stories of sabotage began circulating among the ranks, of human operatives somehow infiltrating ships and disabling systems from within. Whether true or not, the rumors created paranoia, and some captains turned their weapons on their own allies, convinced their ships had been compromised. Meanwhile, humanity's adaptability came into full view. Union forces deployed their advanced combat drones, designed to overwhelm smaller vessels with speed and precision. At first, the drones seemed to gain the upper hand, forcing human ships into retreat. But the victory was short-lived. Within hours, the humans had hacked the drones, reprogramming them to attack their former masters. The Union fleet watched in horror as their own technology turned against them, further fracturing their already fragile unity. The humans didn't just win the battles, they controlled the pace of the conflict. Every Union attempt to retaliate was met with swift countermeasures. Mines appeared where none should exist. Decoy signals lured ships into dead zones, where they were ambushed and disabled. Even the wreckage of destroyed human vessels became traps, rigged to detonate when scavenged for resources. Despite the chaos, Admiral Xytherian refused to surrender. He ordered the remaining fleet to regroup around the largest dreadnought, hoping to form a last line of defense. But as the ships gathered, the humans unleashed their most devastating tactic yet. From beyond the edge of the system, they launched a barrage of kinetic projectiles, massive rods of tungsten traveling at hypersonic speeds. These weapons didn't rely on advanced technology or energy fields. They were simple, brutal, and unstoppable. The projectiles tore through the fleet, piercing shields and armor alike. The dreadnought, meant to be the Union's unbreakable fortress, was reduced to rubble in minutes. The surviving ships scattered, abandoning formation as fear overtook discipline. Then silence. The human ships vanished, retreating as quickly as they had appeared. The battered Union fleet drifted, leaderless and broken. For the first time, Admiral Xytherian understood what Kaelor had tried to warn them about. This wasn't war, it was a lesson. And humanity was the teacher.